We're live. Welcome back to Post-Match Pint. West Ham 3, Sheffield United 0. First of all, thank you for Dan and Nikki for the watch along and then sending all you lot over to us. Graham, Scott, it is the 15th of February. West Ham have just won and we are fourth in the table as it stands. There is another game tonight. Chelsea versus Newcastle. But as it stands at this moment, West Ham United are fourth in the table. Scott, take us through that starting lineup.
Yeah, well, changes. Obviously, with the injuries that we picked up, Fabianski in goal, Kufal. I couldn't quite. I think it was a back. I couldn't work out if it was a back four or back five. But Kufal right, Creswell left, Diop and Dawson in the centre, Johnson on the left, Souček, Rice with So that's where I got a bit. I couldn't work out if it was a five because the three Lingard, Bowen saved more central, but Lingard and Lanzini moved around the pitch quite a lot. So it was a bit tough to see whether we set up as a back five or a back four. But I'm going to go it was a back five for me.
Yeah, there was a lot of interchanging tonight, weren't there? Like a lot of the players were sort of popping up and others dropping back into cover, and so it was. I think it made it quite difficult for Sheffield United.
Yeah, I had it as a sort of 3-4-2-1 with sort of Diop, Dawson and Creswell at the back with Soufal, Johnson, but they was tucked up alongside Rice and Souček, Lingard, Lanzini and Bowen further up top. But Bowen and Lingard kept changing, which was confusing Sheffield United, which was confusing us. But listen, it worked. But I mean, surprise being Ben Rama not starting. No, Lanzini getting a start. Happy birthday, Lanzini, by the way. Bowen starting up top, which we was calling on Friday Night Pint, and I think a lot of people were calling for it. But I mean, the bench. Look, when you look at the bench, there was a lot of youngsters on that bench today. It still shows how thin we are. But Antonio missing, failed a late fitness test, so hopefully, he will be back for Spurs on Sunday. It's not worth risking him. It's not worth risking him in games like this. We had enough out there, which it showed tonight. We've got enough out there to beat Sheffield United. But yeah, I mean, go on. What's your thoughts on the start of the game?
Joe, I'm with you. It was a bit surprised with Ben Rama not being in there, especially Lanzini getting a nod over him. But obviously, Moyes has seen something in training with the way Lingard, Lanzini, and Bowen have all linked up together. You've got to guess that they were prepping for Antonio not to be fit. And I'm with you. If he's failed a late fitness test, in a way, it's a good thing because it shows he's not seriously injured. He could just be knackered. But it's look, we started well. I thought it said the movement of them front three caused Sheffield United so many problems.
Well, we started off. Go on, Greg. Go on, mate.
No, sorry, right? No, go on, mate. Go on.
No, I was going to say we started off, and one thing that we got, which we ain't seen for a long time at West Ham, is a penalty early on. I thought
first one this season.
I thought it was a bit harsh when it happened. If I'm honest, I think Dawson went down a bit too easy. Obviously, whenever
I've got to admit, my first fault was the defender got the ball. Was my first fault.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, it was a bit not harsh. I mean, the rest of it, but look, he was offside anyway, so it's the correct decision.
Yeah, I did think that when Rice hit the free kick, I think it was Rice who hit the free kick. I did think he was offside. I thought, the keeper's going to save this and tip this right to Dawson. And I said Dawson got caught offside. So it's disappointing, but VAR getting the right decision for a change, which is good to see.
Yeah,
even though it's against us, but you want to see him get it right, though, don't you? Even if it's
exactly, you can't. You just got to hope is that them decisions when they're going for you are the right decisions.
Yeah, I mean Dawson was involved like early on in the game because you remember right on kickoff, he gave away a free kick just on the edge of the on the halfway line, didn't he? Went in from the back, which was a bit. But yeah, I mean, involved in a penalty straight away. Look, it got overturned by VAR, and as you said, it was the correct decision. But I thought we had control of the game. Straight kick off, Jesse Lingard, linking up with Lanzini, Bowen.
Again, frustration for me from kick off. We done that silly punt it forward down the right hand side that never comes off. And I still don't understand why we do that. Really don't.
I mean, it's not like we've got. I know from set pieces we've got the height and that, but you don't want to be pumping it up to Bowen and Lingard and saying fight for that. But
yes, exactly.
I mean, I agree with you. We did. Particularly when Lingard got on the ball and run at them, the defence they looked terrified. But the only concern for me early on was that they was getting a lot of joy down our right, like they was just playing that ball into the space behind Kufal, and seemed to be getting a little bit of joy down there, which was my only concern really. In the
they got obviously Billy Sharp up front, they had a lot of joy down the wings, didn't they? Him and McGoldrick, they kept pulling out wide, and they had a lot of space down the flanks, but they didn't really cause us much harm, did they? In that first half, I thought we controlled it from start to finish in the first half. We looked comfortable on the ball. We was knocking it around. Lingard was just all over the pitch. When we signed him, we're going to get someone who's going to come into us who's got a point to prove, and he's playing that way at the moment. He's looking at the moment like, he's been playing all season. It's credit to him how he's still in shape, and he's only played that's the third game for us.
Villa, I mean, they said. I think the commentators were saying even though he hasn't played for Man U, I think when they were doing the fitness tests and that, he was one of, if not the fittest player in the squad. He's kept himself in good shape. Yeah,
it shows a lot about his attitude and his temperament coming into that he wants to play football. He wants, he looks like, as we said earlier, we've got the Euros around the corner. He wants to get back into that England squad, and get out there and prove what he can do. And his performance tonight was really, really good. With him, we look, without Antonio, you're sitting there and you're thinking, are we going to be able to do it? Is Bowen going to be able to give us what Antonio gives us when he's up top on his own? But because the three of them interlink so well, you didn't even notice the difference. And the pace that Lingard brings as well, it's like having Antonio. Because he tore Sheffield United to pieces with his pace a couple of times during that game. And the fact that we've got players like Bowen and Lanzini who can keep up with him as well, it made them think quite a lot about to deal with us.
I mean, what was in the first half when he went literally the edge of our box to the edge of their box? Then they just backed off. And there was 2 or 3 occasions tonight where within the space of 2 passes, completely opened them up.
That's the one thing that Lingard offers his team that we've been lacking, and you can see the difference. You can tell the difference at someone who's played at a top level. The way he just slows down play when he has to. He looks for the simple pass. He knows how to make them runs. And that's someone we've been missing in this team, and maybe he is the missing piece into this puzzle of this team, because at the moment, no one's really talking about West Ham breaking into the top 4. It's amongst West Ham fans they are, but now with only 14 games to go, they're starting to mention it. And all we've got to do is take it game by game. If we miss out on the top 4, it's not been a terrible season. Listen, as I said, we've just gone above Liverpool in the league. With 14 games to go in February. It's crazy to think we're even saying that, especially after when we lost the first game of the season against Newcastle and everyone was talking about relegation. It shows how good we have done.
Yeah, exactly. That's and that's it. And with Lingard, you can see the quality of the player that he is in the way he plays. Early on, you saw that he linked up well. He was looking to get the ball back. The move broke down. I think Lanzini lost the ball, and he was a little bit frustrated because we didn't get the ball back. There was another time in the first half when I think Souček could have played the ball first time, and Souček controlled it instead. And he made that run. And he just gives that little extra bit of quality. You can tell he's a quality player. You can tell he's played at the higher level internationally and in the Champions League and all that. And it complements the players in our side that are in that attacking third with him, if you get what I mean.
The difference, Scott, is that players trust someone like that. They know they can give him the ball and he's going to make things happen. He's not going to panic on the ball, and that's the difference. That is the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what we've lacked. We've lacked that little bit of quality in there, and I think he adds that. His attitude seems bang on. His his fitness, his pace, everything about him, and he wants to be on the ball. He wants to be involved. He wants to score, and this is what we need going into this sort of run now, where we've got to be sitting there thinking we can nick a European spot wherever it is along the line. We've got some tough games coming up, and the way the season's panning out, it's going to be difficult to maintain staying in that top four. But get a couple of players back from injury. We won that game and kept a clean sheet without our best defender and our only real striker, who's not a striker.
Yeah, I mean, saying Lingard, we go all season without getting a penalty, and then we get 2 in one game, and Lingard was at the heart of it again.
Yeah, it's a great counter again, wasn't it?
But again, the panic he causes, it was a 1-2. I think he was. I think his first touch maybe took him a little wider than he wanted. I think he was hoping to get a shot away first time, but he done well even after the touch had taken him wide. He done, got his body across the defender.
Yeah.
Drew the foul. No doubt about this one.
No, exactly, mate. Exactly. It was a blatant penalty. I know a lot of people were sitting there saying, has it not a red card? But under the double jeopardy laws of the game, he made an attempt for the ball. We got very, very close to nicking it, but he just took him out. So it was the right decision. The only downside with that, when you look at that decision there's been other games this season, especially recently with the Southampton game and the Arsenal game, where the player's been sent off for that. And, that's again, down to inconsistencies. But, we saw with the Southampton one, especially, that got overturned. So, again, I think the referee got it bang on.
It was a full 3, wasn't it? Lingard, Lanzini and Bowen that all linked up for that penalty. Yeah. And it was, as you said, a blatant penalty. Lingard obviously wanted to take it because he was the one that got fouled, but I think Declan Rice said, "Listen, son, move over. Listen, I'm having this." And fair play to Jesse Lingard. He's just handed it over. Listen, Lingard wants to score goals. Yeah, he's got something to prove. But listen, Declan Rice, and there was no doubt, and he was going to score that. It was like watching a young Mark Noble, wasn't it? I remember Mark Noble doing that. Back in the days.
Yeah, and I think Rio said it at half time, didn't he? He turned around and said, it shows a maturity. Some players would have sulked because they hadn't been allowed to take the penalty. Because like you said, that was a great move, and that goal would have just rounded it off to be one of our goals of the season. In the build up to it, but it shows a bit of maturity from Lingard that Rice is the designated penalty taker when Noble's not there or Antonio's not there. And, he was the first one to go over and congratulate him, which is good to see. He's showing that he's a team player.
And that's his first goal of the season, isn't it, Declan Rice? So
hopefully
he might be able to chip in with a couple more before the end of the season because he's been unbelievable season, with a full 90 minutes tonight. Souček in the first half. I'll be honest, he had a quiet game today, but he was still effective. If that makes sense, he didn't do anything over the top. He was just there. You knew he was there, and that allowed Declan Rice to go forward and support the forward 3 on the pitch.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Sometimes you need that from players. They have a quiet, consistent 7, if you get what I mean, ratings wise. Where they don't really do anything spectacular, but don't really put a foot wrong. And Souček put a couple of challenges in. His performance overall, I thought he played quite decent. I won't go too much into him because there's a big key moment in the second half where he pops up. But it was again, sort of first half, especially sort of a professional performance by us. We didn't give them too many opportunities. We dominated the opening part of it. We gave them a couple of half chances, and Fabianski, I think, was there a save in the first half from Koldrick?
Yeah.
That was the only real chance that we gave him.
I'll be honest, I thought Fabianski had a great game today. He had that one flappy moment, didn't he, when he come for that corner and Dawson had to header it away. But some of the saves he pulled off, especially that one from the McGoldrick header where it come off of Johnson.
Yeah.
That was a great save. And that was showing Fabianski at his best tonight. But yeah, I thought we had a great game. But yeah, second half, we come out. I'll be honest, Sheffield United was on top.
Yeah.
From the first 10 minutes. They was playing it around, they was knocking it around. I was thought to myself, do you know what? They're gonna nick an equaliser. It just looked like that sort of game.
Mm-hmm.
But the mentality of the back, Soufal, Dawson, Creswell, Diop, they just couldn't break them down. Could not break that brick wall down. And as I said, with Dawson, it doesn't matter who he plays alongside. He just seems to settle. I mean, Diop into in a shade game for him against Sheffield United, especially the way they've been playing. But he had a great game, I thought, Diop, and it proved he got a goal. A well-worked corner, Creswell whips it in, Diop flicks it in, far corner, 2-0. Game over, I thought, when that went in.
Yeah.
It was a great header. It was a great header.
Yep. Brilliant, brilliant cross corner from Creswell. Right on the money, and he did really well. Well, like you said, he's coming to the side tonight, and to be fair, he slotted in alongside Dawson as if he'd been playing with him all season. And again, really, really good to see. And Dawson, especially with Ogbonna not being there, Dawson showed true leadership qualities at the back there by marshalling our defence. And I said, you wouldn't have thought that him and Diop had probably, that's the first time, all right, I know he came on against United, but it's the first time they've started the game together, I think, if memory serves me right. And I said that it just shows that we have, defensively, we look very, very strong. Look, don't get me wrong, we gave Sheffield United too many chances tonight. We did get away with it a little bit, but,
like I say, you give those sort of chances to like a Chelsea or a Liverpool. Yeah, or you're probably looking at a couple against, but
confident and better strikers probably would have punished us tonight. But we can only play what's in front of us. And one player we haven't really spoke about yet, who I thought had a great game in the starting lineup, well deserved, was Ben Johnson.
Yep,
very comfortable, very comfortable.
Yeah, I thought he played well tonight.
Another player that looks like he's been playing first team football for like 5, 6, 7 seasons. He just looks so confident and comfortable on the ball, and that's what I like about him. He plays on the left, but I think he's naturally right-footed, if I'm right. So he can use both feet. He's a very valuable player to have in the squad, because if we ever need him to go out on the right, he can. If you ever need him to go, I think he can play in the centre as well. I think just put him anywhere he played there. But no, I thought he done well getting up and down the flank.
Yeah, I think his game's improving. I think he's improving as a player because he's got decent players around to learn from now. And I think Moyes installs a bit of confidence in him. And especially playing sort of that left wing role, you've got that bit of relaxation, the fact that there's another defender behind you. And then sometimes that needs a bit of confidence, because you can sort of think, well, if I make a little bit of a mistake, there's someone there covering me. So there's not that added pressure. But like you said, Ray, he does look like he's been playing, that performance tonight looks like he's been playing week in, week out for season upon season. And, it's really good to see. We've got a lot of options now. Even you saw Fredericks, what we can use him on the right-hand side, the same way we're using Johnson on the left. And we've still got Masuaku to come back as well.
Yeah, Masuaku's back, not full training, back running, so it'll probably get back towards the end of the season. But listen, you never know, we could be going into the last 3 or 4 games with something still to play for, trying to break into this top 4, and we might need players like Masuaku. So it's going to be an exciting end to the season, because where some people think, the season's going to fade away, the more games we play and we're keeping up there, the games get less and less and less, and you start talking, because I'm happy that the media don't talk about West Ham. I really am, because it keeps us out of pressure. Bit like when Leicester City won the Premier League, everyone thought they was going to fall off and not win it, and they did. West Ham, we could be the shock this season, because if West Ham break into that top 4, that is a massive shock. I don't care what anyone says. That will shock everyone connected with West Ham, because let's be honest, we all thought we was going to be back down the bottom end of the table this season.
Exactly. The thing is, when you look at that game tonight, you could have easily, the way the season started, you could have easily said that was a sort of game, like going into start season, that's a game where we would have been fighting relegation and Sheffield United would have been pushing for top 4 the way they were last season. The roles reversed.
63rd minute, Mark Noble comes on, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, that's the wrong substitution. If I was David Moyes, we're 2-0 up, we're cruising against Sheffield United, we're going to have a lot more space. Maybe bring on Ben Rama. But look, he's brought on Mark Noble just to shore it up a bit. I think Moyes was just happy with a 2-0 lead, you know. But yeah, when I see him come on, but I'll be honest, I don't think Mark Noble done anything wrong when he come on. I thought he had a decent game. He done what he had to do, you know, get the ball, give it to the better players, and just break up play when he can.
Yeah. That's it. And you know, I messaged Graham the same thing, saying, you know, I don't quite understand this 2-0 control of the game. You know, go for the jugular a bit. You know, go and get that third goal, hunt that third goal, get it early, and then maybe give a couple of the youngsters a run out. But you know, Noble come on, he put on a Noble performance, didn't he? You know, he did what he done. He tried to break up play. He tried to, you know, solidify that centre of midfield. He was a bit slow, you know, when he was caught out on our right hand side. Sorry, when I think the cross come in. I think that was a chance that Fabianski pulled off the good save. Another McCordrick header. You know, he was a bit slow getting out there, but you can probably say he was caught out of position. You know, but again, he does his job. But I was with you, mate. I did think that possibly, you know, Ben Rama should have been a like-for-like swap, if you know what I mean.
I would like to have seen Ben Rama get more of a run out tonight, because I think the way Sheffield United were definitely there for the taking. And I think if we'd have had a bit more time with maybe Lanzini coming off and Ben Rama coming on, just seeing a bit of Lingard and Ben Rama together for a little bit longer with Bowen. Because I thought Bowen worked really hard tonight. I mean, I tweeted out before the game, I thought he was going to get a goal tonight. But it was just, you know, he worked so hard, and we always say that. But sometimes his positioning was a bit wrong. But I thought he looked more comfortable playing further up top tonight. He had that chance. Well, we didn't have the chance, but Soufal, I mean, as much as I want Soufal to score, I've never seen someone I've never seen someone look so nervous and like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
He just kept looking across, didn't he? Twice he looked across, like, what do I do? What do I do?
That's it. He looked across, he saw Bo in there, and he still decided to take the shot. So, you know,
he was like, fucking shoot. And then it was a great save by their goalkeeper.
He tried to place it,
I think Bowen, he had a lot of space, but then the defender sort of caught up with him. So that was why Soufal was in two minds. And he just thought, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'd love to see Soufal score just to see what celebration he'd do. I think he'd chin someone. I
think the other reason behind it as well is I think it's that you've got to make that. If he was going to make that pass, he had to do it in that split second that he got his head up. You know, and then I think the pass win.
Sometimes, I mean, I know we're in the second half, but if you go back to, you remember the first half, do you remember that moment where Sue in the middle, Lingard that run through?
Yeah, that's
clean through 1-1. You know, if someone like Rama would have spotted that straight away.
Exactly.
With Suchek, that's, you know, he likes attacking, we know that, but sometimes he's not got that forward pass in him. But that's the difference sometimes.
I'll be honest, I think Noble sees that pass as well if he's on the pitch.
Yeah, I think Lanzini sees it. I think Bowen sees it. Definitely, if I said that's Ben Rama, that's Lingard's through one-on-one. He's probably scoring.
Yeah, that's it. You know, but
he done everything but tonight, Lingard, didn't he?
Yeah. His performance was top notch. You can't fault anything he did tonight, really.
Yeah, I mean, Fredericks come on in the 92nd minute and he scored in the 96th minute. I'll be honest, I'm really pissed off with Fredericks tonight, and I'll tell you why. Because with 30 seconds to go, I set up post-match Pint with West Ham 2, Sheffield United 3, set it all up, and I'm sitting there watching it, and he scored, and I'm thinking, I forgot, I've got to change it all now. I'm happy to change it, Frederick. You know, I'm glad to see he's got himself a goal. You know, he's been involved in the last few games. You know, he started off the season really well, and he sort of fell out of contention. He picked up a little injury, and then obviously Soufal come in, and then you're not taking Soufal's place. But no, I'm quite pleased for Fredericks in a way that he's got that goal tonight, because he does work hard.
Come on, be honest.
Ben Rama made that for him, no?
Be honest, who thought he was going to sky it?
No, do you know what?
I had every confidence in him, Scott. I had every confidence. You're out of order.
After setting up all the post-match Pint and that, I was hoping that he skied it over because I had to quickly go and edit everything. But yeah, another assist for Ben Rama.
But again, just what we were just talking about. You bring him on. That's what he's gonna. That's what he's gonna give you.
That's it.
And that brought him on 20, 25 minutes earlier, maybe.
That's the thing. When you're sort of in front and they're attacking, they're going to leave gaps, and maybe Ben Rama would have exploited them being on earlier in the game. But he got his opportunity. He's he showed why he should be in that starting 11 by setting up that chance.
And, we're talking about all positives because we've won 3-0. Is there any sort of negatives that you see from tonight? The only thing that I think we've got to get better on our free kicks. I think that's one thing we need to improve on a bit, because Creswell's had a few games now where he's skied them over. And, when you've got players like Lanzini, Jesse Lingard, Bowen, I think especially when they're from the left, let Bowen have a crack. Yeah. But look, I'm scraping the barrel for negatives there. You know what I mean? Usually when West Ham play, we can find loads of negatives sometimes, but I'm scraping.
I'll be honest. The 3 good chances that we gave them, we need to tighten up a bit. Especially considering the way we set up tonight, that amount of space that they got down that left hand side where Soufal was a bit further forward in the first half. Going up against Spurs, that's the sort of space that players like Son will exploit. So, I know we're going to approach the game completely tactically different to how we did tonight. But that's the only downside. We gave them 3 really, really good opportunities, maybe 4 if you look at that Souček tackle that he put in, the interception one where it went out for a corner. And that's what I'm saying back earlier on about Souček, the importance that he has, not only going forward, but defensively. Do
you think that maybe Ben Rama didn't start tonight because he will probably start against Spurs? And he's giving him a little bit of a rest.
Maybe.
I think so, but it's always a gamble, isn't it? Because, as we've said before, you need to take every game as it comes. And, that could have been a gamble that backfired. So it probably is the fact is I can't see Lanzini starting, to be honest. I don't think Lanzini did much wrong. He drifted out of the game a little bit a couple of times, but he was dropping, looking for the ball, wanting to get things going. But maybe he drops out, Ben Rama comes in, and then we've got Ben Rama, Bowen and Lingard. But that's obviously if Antonio's not fit. Does Antonio come straight back in up top? And we see, does Lanzini drop out for Bowen, and then you've got Lingard one side and Bowen the other? Sorry, Lanzini dropping out for Antonio. It's a good headache to have.
Yeah, Antonio's a strange one, isn't it? Because if he's fit, do you start him or do you leave him on the bench versus Spurs and bring him on if we need him? Would you maybe stick with Bowen up top? Maybe just bring in Ben Rama for Lanzini on Saturday?
I don't know. Do we really want to rush? And I know it's a big game, but do you really want to run the risk of Antonio breaking down again?
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I think unless he,
I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him. I'm saying if he's fit and he can play on the bench, just have him on now.
Yeah, that's it. I think the same. If only get him involved if he is fully fit. If there's if he's not, then just leave him out, because we showed tonight there's enough there to cause Spurs problems.
Yeah, there'll be a completely different kettle of fish to Sheffield United, especially going forward. We'll have to be a bit quite a bit tighter at the back than we were tonight. Like you say, you give them chances to Son or Kane.
Yeah. You've got a bit, but also Spurs have got their defensive frailties as well, and sometimes we sit a bit too deep to exploit that. But with the pace of Lingard, the movement of him, the movement of Ben Rama, and Bowen's tenacity and pace as well, there's enough there to threaten Spurs.
What you got to remember as well is it's an early kickoff on Sunday, 12 o'clock. Tottenham play away in Europa League on Thursday night. I think they play in Austria, so. It's a lot of travelling for them. They could pick up a couple of knocks. But look, it's going to be a massive game, because if we beat Spurs, we will go 9 points clear of Spurs in the table. When I look at the table now, Chelsea are 1 up at the moment. So as it stands, we're back down to 5th. we enjoyed fourth for a little while, but look, we're still in contention because when you look at it this way, we're on the same amount of games as Liverpool. Now, Liverpool dominated the league last year. We're on the same amount. We've won 12. They've won 11. They've lost 6. We've lost 6. You know, so it shows how well we've done. We've lost 6 games this season.
Exactly.
6 games in the Premier League.
Yep.
You know, and there was people the other day when we went out the cup. I know it's always upsetting when you go out the cup and, you know, because we want to win the FA Cup. But there was doom and gloom all over social media. And I'm like, look, it's not that bad. As the commentator said, the first thing the club concentrated on the next day is, right, we've got to get into Europe now. Yeah, we've got to make this is a successful season. And if there is any way that West Ham could break into that top 4, I mean, I don't think that UEFA would want Leicester City and West Ham in the Champions League, you know, because it don't fit their big clubs and all that. They want the big names in there. But if West Ham did upset the odds, you know, and get in there, but even if we can finish around 6, I wouldn't want to see us, the position we're in now, I wouldn't really want to see us drop any lower than 8th this season. I think I'll be very disappointed if we finished below that. But when you look at people now, we're 42 points, you know, we're 10, I think we're 10 clear or 8 clear of Arsenal, you know. Sheffield
we're safe now, then we've got 42 points.
We're 31 points in front of Sheffield United. The team that everyone was raving about last season.
And that's it. And you know, that's the plus points we've got to take. I'm with you. I think now the way the season's panned out, we finish anywhere below 8th, I think it will be a disappointing. You know, we got the right mental attitude. They said no, but one of the first things he done when we went into the dressing room after losing to United was said, you know, we've got to get Europe now. That's the main aim. You know, and you get going back to the losses, the 6 losses, 2 of them were right at the start of the season in our first 2 games. You know, that's how you got. That's we've lost 4 games since then in the league. You know, that's no matter how you look at it, that's a fantastic achievement.
Even when you look at the 2 we've lost since Christmas, Liverpool, who listen, they dominated us and beat us fair and square, and then we lost in extra time to Man United last week in the cup. So when you look at it that way, to think we've only lost 6 games this season, you know, it's like, drew 6 and won 12.
Yeah. It's like I said that, you know,
at this stage of the season.
Take Newcastle out. We've only been beaten by sides that you would class as that big 6. You know, that top 6 side. You know, Liverpool beat us, United have beat us, Arsenal have beat us, Chelsea have beat us, and you know, barring the Newcastle game. So that's 4 of the so-called big 6 are the only teams that have turned us over this season. You know,
mate, the other week we went.
You know, go on.
No, so mate, mine the other week went. Oh, you ain't really played anyone yet. I went. You do realise we've played everybody at least once now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you look at the fixtures we've got coming up, we've got Tottenham, City, Leeds, United, Arsenal. You know, but we've got, you know, we need to, if we the only one we're going to break into that top 4 if we start taking points off of these sort of teams like City. I know we took a point off of City, but you know, Tottenham, you know, we've got to turn them into wins. We've taken a point off of them 2 teams, but if we can nick a win against them 2 teams, you know, it's going to be an exciting end to the season. It's good that we're talking about us being in that half of the table, the better half of the table, than
the right end.
We can go back to this time last season when we're sitting there thinking, how the fuck are we going to get out of this relegation battle? So
the thing is as well, Ral, when you look at them next 4 or 5 games, you look at the form of the teams. You know, we're in very, very good form. City are in phenomenal form at the moment. United, they're in good form, but they're very hit and miss in their performances. So you've got to be looking at that. We can get something out of that. Arsenal, another side, they're a bit hit and miss. You know, one minute they put click together, and the next minute they're falling apart. So that's again a bit of a game.
Arsenal always seem to beat us, even when they just always seem to nick that 1-0 or that 2-1 against us.
The past 4 games against them, I think, when I was looking back at it, have been games where we've, if not dominated, we've had our chances to win the game, and they go and nick it. And it just shows sometimes that certain players have got a bit better quality and they finish their chances, where we spurn so many chances in games.
I mean, we're on 42 points at the moment. We actually got relegated on 42 points. So, but I think we can say that we're safe this season.
We're safe, yeah. I think we're all right.
Yeah, I mean, that's it for the game. Look, 3-0 win, another 3 points, a clean sheet, which is massive. As I mentioned earlier, Fabianski deserved the clean sheet tonight, pulled off some good saves. I know there are a couple of Flapianski moments, but look, overall, look, it's easy to say this when you've won, but overall, I am happy with the performance. I'm happy with the performance from all the players. I think we put in a good shift, and we deserve the win. And as we've said before, these are games that we usually drop the points, but you look at our last 3 games, Villa away, Fulham away, and Sheffield United at home, 7 points out of 9. So you can't complain. You can't complain with that.
Exactly. Exactly, mate. That's exactly it. We can't moan. 3 points, 3 goals, clean sheet tonight. What more can you ask for? Yeah,
no, definitely. But before we do the outro, Nicky's just sent a message on here. Someone that does fan cams, Michael Curie, sadly his dad passed away today. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. He hasn't been on lately, but he's a massive regular of the channel, especially outside the London Stadium. So thoughts and prayers are with him. It's difficult time. But boys, you got anything to add before we go? Because it's
no, mate. I think we've covered it all. A decent performance all round. Really, can't complain too much.
Graham, anything to add, mate?
No,
any word of wisdom for our viewing public?
They put me on the spot now. I'm all shy. No, just got to say, great performance. We had a little moan about the amount of chances they had, but other than that, a great performance, and onwards and upwards. And
I think
everyone be kind to each other.
Yeah, that's it. I think Chelsea are 2-0 up now. So, but look, as I said, we're still in the mix.
Exactly.
Roll on Tottenham on Sunday. But before the Tottenham game, we've got Friday Night Pint coming. Another Friday Night Pint. After this, go over and watch all the fan cams, see all the fan reactions. I think there's a few happy hammers tonight. That's it. Keep subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up if you watch, because the thumbs up help us out. Help share our videos. The subscribers are really going up lately. It's good. We want to reach that 60k before the end of the season. Yeah, that's it.
Can't man.
3-0.
Any appearance from Positive Pat tonight? Or
no, she's only out on a Friday night.
No, she only comes out on a Friday, the old treacle. But 3 points, 3 clean, 3 goals, 3 happy hammers. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.